It's Friday, June 6th, and court just got adjourned for the Diddy trial. So let's break down everything that Jane testified to in the afternoon. I'm an attorney and I read what happened, so you don't have to. It was a lot, so this might have to be 2 parts. I'm going to try to fit it all into one, so let's get into it. After lunch, Jane described one night in 2023 in a Los Angeles hotel room. Combs invited a man to join them, and Jane testified that she quickly realized that this is not something that she could do. She told Combs privately that this wasn't something that she could do because she wasn't attracted to the man, to which she alleges Combs responded to, "Are you sure? Maybe just a little bit." They returned to the room, and she testified that once they were both undressed, she was repulsed by him, and she signaled to Combs that she wanted to stop. She testified that Combs seemed agitated and almost a little confused. "This wasn't a typical thing for us to have a hiccup like this in the middle of the night," she said. Eventually, the man was excused, but Jane testified that Combs just brought another man to the room. Jane testified that she would set up hotel nights for Combs for special occasions, like Valentine's Day or when he came back from a trip. Although Combs never explicitly told Jane what he expected, Jane testified, "I could hear the gray lines in between his words. He would say things like, 'I can't wait to see what you have for me.'" She testified, "I just knew what task was being asked of me, and when asked why she went along with it for so long, she testified, 'I just loved him deeply.'" She testified that Combs would often give cash to the men that she slept with, and that on some occasions she would have to pay them herself, but that Combs would always reimburse her. Jane testified that Combs frequently recorded these hotel nights using his cell phone. She testified that she was always high when he filmed her, and that he told her that these videos were just for him. Prosecutors then showed the jury 15 photos that Jane confirmed were taken during these hotel nights, and confirmed that they were taken by Combs himself. In another 2023 incident, Jane said that Combs promised a romantic getaway. She was hesitant, fearing another hotel night, but that Combs reassured her, and that on her flight out there, Combs messaged her about getting entertainment. "I felt really disappointed. I just felt this weight over me," Jane testified. At the Trump International Hotel, she waited outside in an SUV for their dinner plans, but when she looked up, she noticed that their hotel room was getting lit with these red lights. "That's when I knew his assistants were already setting up," she testified. They argued at a lounge, and Jane told Combs, "Why is it that every time I see you, I have to do this?" To which Combs responded that they didn't have to. And Jane responded and testified, "I knew in my heart that he didn't mean that." She testified that it still happened that night. Combs gave her substances, she dressed in the outfit that he wanted her to, and she slept with the man. She testified that during the encounter, she didn't want to be with that man, so Combs flew out another man from Atlanta to New York to participate instead, and that one of Combs' assistants later dropped off thousands of dollars at the front desk to be paid for this man. Jane described physical pain and health issues. "My back and shoulders would hurt. I had to stay in certain positions for hours." She also testified to countless UTIs and yeast infections. She testified that sometimes she couldn't even recover before another hotel night before Combs made her participate. Around 2022 or 2023, Jane alleges that Combs told her that she had to get her breasts pierced, and that Christina Coram, his former chief of staff, set up the appointment. Jane later had to remove the piercings due to infection and pain, and Combs allegedly told her, "Where are my piercings? This is the last time I see you without any piercings on." Jane testified that she told Combs on multiple occasions, typically through text and not in person, that she wanted to stop these hotel nights. In person, she testified he would become defensive, belittling, and dismissive, and she would often use her notes app on the iPhone to collect her thoughts. In 2024, Combs claimed that he never knew that Jane didn't want to do hotel nights, and Jane said that she believed him until she reviewed their text messages back from 2021, where she told him clearly that she didn't want to participate. "I had been saying the same things over and over again," she testified. Jane read text messages then to Combs that she sent back in November 2021, saying that she felt mistreated and that she needed a breather. She also texted him, "Don't say you effing miss me and that you're bored over there. Just don't say to me, you don't deserve me." To which Combs responded with a voice note saying, "You gotta believe me, this is the last time you'll be cursing at me." And when Jane saw Combs with another woman, he denied it and called her crazy. She testified that she didn't mind Combs being with other women, she just wanted more time with him, and that she felt used, dismissed, and emotionally isolated, especially when comparing how Combs treated her to other women. "I was being treated like I was the one who had to take this on," she said, "and they didn't." In one text, Jane wrote to Combs, "It's not me that you miss or want, it's these nights." He would say all the things that I wanted to hear, that he loved me, that he missed me. He would downplay everything. Then jurors were shown Jane's notes app from 2022. "You hurt my feelings every time you dismiss me," she wrote. And in another, "I don't want to do substances for days and have you use me to fulfill your freaky, wild desires in hotel rooms." She also wrote that Combs promised her quality time, but would always prioritize hotel nights. "After them, we'd be too exhausted. We'd spend our free time sleeping." On her birthday, Jane said that Combs surprised her with a hotel night with 3 men, and after, left for a romantic getaway with another woman. "It broke my heart," she said. She texted him, "Why do you lie to me?" And he replied, "Because I didn't feel like telling you what I was doing." Jane responded, "It really feels like you used me to get off and then go away for a week." Jane stopped responding, but Combs kept calling and texting, and even had his assistant and butler reach out. Before a Paris trip that she hadn't even told him about, he called over 30 times. "I don't know how he found out about it," she testified. "I didn't tell him." Afterwards, Combs suggested a Turks and Caicos trip, where Jane and Combs agreed to a love contract, where Combs paid her $10,000 a monthly allowance. She moved into a house with rent paid by Combs. "He's still paying it," she confirmed. "He also paid for veneers because he didn't like my teeth," she testified. Between April and August 2023, Jane testified that they saw each other often, but mainly only for hotel nights, and that when she complained about this, Combs responded, "Get over it, please. Look at the roof over your head and that pretty smile." Court has adjourned for the weekend, but we'll be back Monday, so make sure to come back and let me know if you have comments or questions down below.